This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 5 arrested in connection with a separate firearm seizures. The police are reporting the seizure of 2 illegal guns and 13 rounds of ammunition in targeted operations in 2 separate incidents yesterday. Operations carried out by detectives in 11 miles Bull Bay St. Thomas accounted for the seizure of a 9mm pistol containing 10 rounds of ammunition and the arrest of a man. The pre-dawn operation occurred between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. A Taurus Thunder 9mm pistol and 3 rounds of ammunition were seized by members of the Westmoreland Division. The pre-dawn operation was carried out in White House District in the parish. 4 persons were taken into custody in connection with the seizure. Meanwhile, lawmen are renewing their appeal to members of the public to report illegal weapons by calling Crime Stop at the 311, Police 119 emergency number, or their nearest police station. Still, no lawyers confirmed for pastor on rape charge and co-accused. Jason Rose, the St. James-based pastor who is charged with the rape of a teenage girl, along with his wife Kimmy Rose and the girl's mother, have still not settled their legal representation, which they are expected to do when they return to court on July 28. Although the 3 defendants had been expected to confirm who their lawyers will be, the St. James Circuit Court was told on Wednesday that the trio had still not finished getting lawyers to represent them. As a result, the case was set for further mention on July 28, and the defendants had their bails extended to that date. Per to the defendants' need to settle legal representation, Jason Rose was represented by attorney Tamika Spencer Anderson, Kimmy Rose's lawyer was Adrian Days, and Martin Thomas was the lawyer for the complainant's mother, whose name is being withheld to protect the minor's identity. Wednesday's mention of the case marks the 5th time the trio have appeared in the St. James Circuit Court since the matter was first heard there on October 6, 2021, with subsequent appearances on October 14, December 8, and January 31 this year. However, there have been few details released in regard to the in-camera matter since the 3 defendants had the case transferred from the St. James Parish Court to the Circuit Court on September 27, 2021. Aside from Jason Rose's rape charge, all 3 defendants are charged with attempting to pervert the course of justice. In the case against Jason Rose on October 28, 2021, the complainant, who was 15 at the time, reported that she had been raped by the pastor on his church's compound, where she had gone to use the facility's internet for an educational project. Following the pastor's arrest and a charge, Kimmy Rose and the girl's mother were arrested and charged with attempting to pervert the course of justice and breaching the Child Care and Protection Act. The allegations regarding the 2 female accused are that on June 10, 2021, the victim and her mother visited the offices of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse with the purpose of giving a statement to the police that the child's initial rape accusation against the pastor was not true. While being interviewed by the police in the presence of the Child Protection and the Family Services Agency representative, the complainant reportedly explained that she was being forced to give the second statement by her mother, the accused pastor, and the pastor's wife in order for the case to be dropped. The complainant's mother was arrested on that day, and Kimmy Rose was arrested the following day. Jason Rose first appeared before the parish court on June 14, 2021, where he was offered bail in the sum of $300,000 on the rape charge. However, he was remanded on June 16 in relation to an additional charge of perverting the course of justice, which the women were also charged with when they first appeared in court on that date. All 3 defendants were denied bail at that time regarding the perversion of justice charge out of concern that they would interfere with the complainant. A gag order was also imposed on the court by presiding parish judge Sasha Ashley concerning the case's details. Government keeping tabs on COVID hospitalizations and deaths. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the government is closely monitoring hospitalization and deaths as a result of the increase in the COVID-19 positivity rate over the past week, but noted that he was not harboring regrets over the withdrawal of orders under the Disaster Risk Management Act. On Wednesday, April 27, the island recorded 150 new cases, bringing the overall number of local confirmed infections since the pandemic began in March 2020 to 129,662 cases. Only one new death was reported on Wednesday, with a positivity rate of 11.6%. The country's 7th-day average positivity rate stood at 8.6%. Up to Wednesday, 108 individuals remained hospitalized, of which 22 were positive cases and 86 suspected of having the virus. As of now, every death is one too many, but the numbers are far lower when compared with the positivity. I don't think we should live in regret as it relates to the lifting of those restrictions, Tufton said at a press event last night. Asked by the news whether the health ministry had made any recommendation for the retention of the mask mandate, which was fully lifted on April 15, or whether it was in full support of the government's decision, Tufton did not give a clear response. However, he pointed out that the ministry had put forward the pros and the cons of such a decision, and that clinical assessments were reviewed in coming to a determination. All the decisions that we take, whether to keep the mask or remove the mask, come with a certain level of risk, said Tufton, adding that there continues to be a significant mental health impact derived from the restrictions. The point is that the decision was taken in the context of a general position that we needed to restore a sense of normalcy to the society, to the economy, to the country, not just for economic purposes, as important as that is, but also for psychosocial purposes, he added. If you see things moving in that direction, then you have to adjust, and the government has always been willing to pivot in this pandemic, he said. Despite last week's confirmation of the presence of the Omicron BA2 variant in the island, health officials in Clarendon say the news is not alarming. Eugenia Clark-James, acting CEO of the Maypen Hospital, said that her team is prepared in the event that there are any changes in the future. Maypen Hospital is always ready. We have our plans in place, so we are ready to cope with any situation at all because we have gone through the worst, said Clark-James, in reference to other variants of the respiratory illness. She disclosed that the Delta variant had the most adverse impact on the hospital because of a significant number of cases being recorded. Nonetheless, since March, the facility has witnessed a decline in cases, having recorded 2 positive cases over the last several weeks, with no positive cases at the facility on Wednesday. Last week, the parish's medical officer of health, Kimberly Scarlett Campbell, told the news that the 40-bed field hospital at the facility was temporarily closed amid a decline in COVID-19 cases. The regional technical director at the Southern Regional Health Authority, Dr. Vitilos Holder, has also confirmed that up to Wednesday evening, only the Percy Junior Hospital has 2 positive cases and 1 suspected case, while the Mandeville Regional Hospital has 1 suspected case. In Clarendon, both the Lioneltown and the Maypen hospitals have 1 suspected case each, with no confirmed cases, while there were neither confirmed nor suspected cases at the Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth. Despite the breathing room, medical personnel at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine continue to face significant challenges, according to CEO Jacqueline Ellis. She told the news that the hospital remains severely challenged, running beyond its bed capacity of 430. This, she said, was affecting how quickly patients are seen or are able to get beds, noting long-standing complaints of people having to sit in wheelchairs or on medical stretchers despite having to be admitted. That is a challenge, and we are really saddened sometimes by that fact, said Ellis, whose hospital currently has 233 medical doctors and 300 nurses and patient care officers. With a daily admittance population of nearing or exceeding 400 persons, she believes any spike in COVID-19 cases could cause more strain. COVID-19 hospitalizations have been slashed, with the facility seeing between 30 and 40 admissions, down from last year's high of 90 other COVID-related cases daily. Few to no positive cases have been recorded in the past 3 months. It has come down, but we still have to be watching. We cannot be relaxed, Ellis said. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Besesa McKenzie is urging Jamaicans to continue exercising caution and still take COVID-19 shots despite the lifting of mandates. I want to again just emphasize that the removal of law does not remove a need for infection and the prevention control measures, and what we have is now the freedom to evaluate our risk in different situations, she told the news on Wednesday. She added that she was hopeful that after 2.5 years, Jamaicans would be in a position to understand that the protection, prevention, and the control measures such as social distancing, sanitization, and wearing masks do prevent exposure and transmission. She disclosed that the rise in cases is being seen mainly in hotspots of tourist traffic St. James, Westmoreland, and St. Anne. But with the BA2 being the more transmissible variant, she added that it is expected that once it is here in the country, that we will start to see an increase in the number of cases, but so far there has not been an increase in hospitalizations, severity of illness, and deaths. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.